Arsenal Fan TV here for another Mondo Goals Footy League. Now, let's first of all run through the results of last week. Bottom with 59.1 points, Redmen TV. No surprise there, really. They're poor. What are they smoking over there? I mean, what sort of result was that? What are they smoking over there? Ball Street, 86.47 points in second place. And the winner is Arsenal Fan TV, 94.69 points, which means at the moment, currently, we're in second place with 173.65. Just above us is Ball Street with 176.55. And bottom at the moment, looking like another forfeit at the moment for Redmen TV, 161.58. And let's face it, that last week, where I finished bottom, that was only because I had three players that all three of those players in the team, none of them played, which meant I got 0 points for all three of those players. Otherwise, I would have won that as well. But anyway, let's get into this week's league. Now, I'm taking a really scientific... I don't know if I should be revealing all this, but I'm revealing this for you guys who watch Arsenal Fan TV. I know that probably Redmen and Ball Street will be watching in as well to try and get my formula, but I really study hard to see who teams are playing. And when I look through this week's league, it mainly focuses on the Saturday's games. So you've got Chelsea-Liverpool. That game is so hard to call that I'm really trying to avoid picking players from that game. Crystal Palace, Manchester United, Man City, Norwich City, Newcastle, Stoke City, Swansea versus Arsenal, Watford, West Ham, and West Bromwich Albion versus Leicester. So I look at that game, one game in particular there, Manchester City versus Norwich City. Norwich at the moment are so poor, and Manchester City, let's face it, they are flying. So that immediately tells me, have a lot of Man City players in your team. Man City at home, they should win that game. So I've gone in goal, Joe Hart, 8.6 million. At the back, Vincent Kompany, 6.6 million. I've also got John Terry in there at 7 million. That's a bit of a risk because he hasn't been playing very well this season. But that's going to be a tight game against Liverpool. Liverpool not scoring many goals at the moment. Lots of draws. So I think it's going to be a game where defences are going to be on top. And then I've gone for Cresswell of West Ham. Again, they're flying. They're playing Watford away. I don't think there'll be a lot of goals in that game as well, even if Watford were to get a victory. So I've gone Cresswell in there. In the midfield, De Bruyne, he's been on fire. £15.1 million, very expensive, but I fancy him to have a good game against Norwich. You can see him, City tearing them apart. Mesut Ozil, I've always got to have my Arsenal players in there. Ozil's on fire at the moment, 14.3 million. Yannick Bolasie, 5.9 million. I've had him in a few times. He hasn't really delivered for me. I'm hoping that this is going to be the week when Bolasie delivers because Crystal Palace are up against, where's it gone? Manchester United. And I always think Bolasie is going to raise his game for that one. And Victor Moses, I've gone 8.2 million. Also there in the midfield there for West Ham. Up front, Alexis Sanchez, he would be rested. He'll be up for the fight in that game against Swansea. I can see him tearing into that Swansea defence. Saido Berahino, 7.3 million. That's a bargain, I think. And West Brom are at home against Leicester. I could see him scoring in that game. And Wilfried Boney at only 8.3 million. He's starting to score goals again. And, you know, he'll be starting in that game. We know that. And up against, as I said, a very poor Norwich defence at the moment. Can see Boney coming in with a couple of goals. And do you know how much money I've got left after what I spent there? 0. 100 million on the dot that team costs. So that's good going there. That is a proper fantasy football team. Right, let's go and see what these guys have come up with this week. I'll start off with, let's start with Redmen TV and see what they've come up with. In goal, they've gone Joe Hart, same as me. They've got Vincent Kompany at the back, same as me. Nathaniel Klein, one of their Liverpool players, 8.1 million. And Hector Bellerin, not a bad shout, 9.5 million. Midfield, they've got Johan Cabaye, Crystal Palace. They've gone Payet. Payet's been doing so well this season. Gylfi Sigurdsson. So they're obviously, Sigurdsson did well against Arsenal last year. They're obviously thinking Sigurdsson again is going to have a big game. And they've gone Juan Mata. Mata's been a bit disappointing past couple of weeks, but they've gone Juan Mata. Up front, they've gone for Firmino, another one of their Liverpool players, Raheem Sterling for Manchester City, and Olivier Giroud. So to be fair to them, that's not a bad team. That's not, even Sigurdsson, he did do well against us last year. So that is actually one of the better teams that I've seen Redmen pick in recent weeks, because, as I said, I don't know what they've been smoking over there, but they've been coming up with some quite dreadful teams. Dreadful. Right, let's see what Ball Street have come up with. Joe Hart in goal. That's all three of us have gone for Joe Hart in goal. I think and none of us have gone for any Norwich City players, I can see, so not looking good for Norwich at the weekend. They've got Noyam at the back from Watford. Gary Cahill, 7.5 million. Not sure about that. Cahill's been proper dodgy this season. Craig Dawson, West Brom, and Scott Dan from Crystal Palace. All right, not bad. They've gone De Bruyne. They've gone 4 at the back. They've gone 3 in midfield. De Bruyne, Mesut Ozil, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who is injured, who we've been told is definitely going to be out for about 3 weeks. So that means nil point. No points will they get there. So again, the intelligent guys at Ball Street and all the interns and everybody who gets together and puts together this team, using their great football knowledge to make sure Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who is injured out for 3 weeks, is in their team. Say no more. Up front, they've gone Jamie Vardy. Not bad shout. He's been on fire, Vardy. He's been scoring goals for fun. Olivier Giroud and Wilfred Boney. That front three, I must admit, is probably stronger than my front three. That is a strong front three. That would have been a decent team if not. Two things I think mistakes they've made there. Why they're playing 4 at the back? You get more points when you've got more players in midfield who can score goals. So why go 3 in midfield? The footballing brain of Ball Street. That's why. And Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. You're not going to get no points for him, so already you're up against it. But I'd say both of them on the whole have come up with some quite strong teams this week. What's your team going to be? Make sure you enter your team. There's a very special league this week as well where you can double up your money. So make sure you check out the details of that. There's a double up league as well if you play in those paid leagues. But those are the 3 teams. I don't know. I think I'm looking in good shape this week. Let us know what your team's going to be by leaving them in the comments below as well. That's the fantasy footy battle. I'm looking good. Okay.
I'd probably say Gylfi Sigurdsson. I just fancy him now to kick on. He looked really, really up for a Saturday. So, yeah, fear Gylfi Sigurdsson, Arsenal.